Custom home design ideas can come from a list of sources. This should be the fun step when you're designing and planning for your new custom home. There's all sorts of things that we have to talk about that aren't that exciting, that aren't fun. We have to talk about developing budgets and looking at land and how are we going to accomplish things in timelines. But when it comes down to designing a custom home, it should be fun, but it can be overwhelming. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about some ideas and some trends that we see, and we'll talk a little bit about, at the end, on how we suggest you go about starting your custom home design. Hi, I'm Andrew Gennatasio. I'm one of the owners of GTG Builders. Thank you for picking this video. At the end, we're going to list a couple other videos that may interest you if you're thinking about building a custom home. Hopefully you'll give us a like and you'll subscribe to our channel so you get a notification every time a new video comes out. And this video series is all about planning a custom home project. At the end of the video, we're going to list a couple other videos that we have that may interest you about this process. But today's video is all about designing a new custom home, where to start, where to get ideas, and some trends that we see. So hopefully you'll feel good, you'll give us a subscribe and a like, and you'll get notified about other videos we have coming out. So when we work with clients, it can be overwhelming when we sit down on the drawing board and the architect has a blank piece of paper. There's all sorts of ways to go about getting inspiration for starting your custom home. Some people start with a goal of square footage. Some people start with a list of things that they know that they need. Some of our clients start with ideas that they've seen online. Those are all great ideas. Today we're talking a little bit about where you get those ideas. And what we're going to talk about specifically is trends that we're seeing right now when it comes to designing a custom home. And hopefully you'll watch the video and you'll take away a few of these trends that you like. You'll change them, you'll customize them to work in your lifestyle, and maybe you'll make them part of your future custom home project. So the first trend that we're seeing this year is the need for custom home office space. That may be one dedicated place, it may be two. You may be a husband and a wife situation or roommates that need two offices. So obviously you could use bedrooms, extra bedrooms as office space, or you could find some place in the basement for office space. But one of the things that we're seeing is the need for dedicated office space. And so it's not the kitchen table and it's not the living room. It's a place that acts as your office, your real office. With the changes in our lifestyle after the COVID shutdowns, we have to have places in our homes that are dedicated place. They should be detached as much as possible so that it can be quiet while the rest of the family goes about their business. One of the things to think about is, do you need a separate entrance for your custom office space, or do you need a bathroom, or do you need an area to have food like a refrigerator? So those are some of the things that we're seeing clients talk about when they design a new custom home and it entails office space. The next big trend we're seeing is outdoor living space. So outdoor living space comes with lots of questions. What's your goal? COVID really changed the way we live in our homes, but it also changed where we eat, how often we go out, when we go on vacation. So things that we're seeing when we talk about outdoor living space are people who have the idea that they want to be able to entertain friends safely. So that may mean we need a large open space. And some outdoor living spaces are more geared towards family, cooking. So we'll have to ask the questions like, do we want to make it very private? Or do we want to make it very open? If we'll link one of our videos here, it talks about the pros and cons of patios versus decks. I suggest you go look at that. It's just a couple of ideas that we talk about when we talk about a deck or a patio. Outdoor living here in New Jersey means 2 to 3 seasons we're using it. So think about what you like to do, how your family lives, and how outdoor living space and maybe entertaining space can safely be something that your family can enjoy. Third trend that we're seeing in custom home design, and it's an old one, but it's really made a comeback, that is a walk-in pantry. A walk-in pantry is fantastic. Do you remember it wasn't too long ago when there was the great shortage of toilet paper and other daily necessities? Well, a pantry is designed to give you space to store those things. It also can help reduce the number of trips that you're taking to the grocery store every week. With the COVID lockdowns, all of our schedules have changed. We're working more from home. But you may be a person that decided we're going to go to the grocery store less. This way you can buy stuff in bulk. By going to the grocery store less, buying stuff in bulk, you can even save money. So a custom built-in pantry can be something small, just the size of a closet, or it could be truly the size of a mudroom where we build custom organizers and everything can be well organized, it can be in bulk, and it can save you time and money. Another fun design feature of your custom home can be a custom wine cellar. A custom wine cellar is basically an area in your home that we maintain the climate by managing temperature and humidity. So that area of your home can be very simple, just a small room in your basement. And the idea is that we want to maintain the quality of that wine. So we can do something real fancy like we've done in the past with shelving and storage, or we could just do a basic room and you can add storage later as you become more engaged in it. So some people have a hobby of collecting wines, high quality, expensive wine, but there's other people that decide they like to buy wine in bulk. So if we have another pandemic, you don't run out. Or it may be that you spend a weekend away bottling your own wine, creating labels for your own wine, and then you want to collect it. I know people that make their own batches of wine and then they put a label on it and they give it away. Maybe it's at Christmas or just during the year as gifts when you visit somebody's home. So consider building a custom wine cellar for your new custom home. It can be a lot of fun, it can be a new hobby, and maybe it's something that adds a little bit of value to your home when you go to sell it someday. The next big trend that we're seeing, which was kind of surprising because we haven't done this more than a few times in the past 25 years, is a pet bath station. 2020 was a huge year for pet adoption. Families were home. Bringing a pet into the home was a huge help with stresses. Having a pet, it's shown to help us to exercise more, which further reduces stress, but helps us to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So pets are a great thing, but one of the problems with pets is, in the past, if you've had a dog and you've run around outside and you wanted to give him a bath, you had to take him upstairs, which makes the mess spread out. You had to put them in the bathtub, which requires lifting. And when you took them out of the bathtub, it was a matter of shaking and everything getting wet. So one of the trends that we're seeing this year is a pet bath station. And that doesn't mean any more than a small 3x3 or 2x4 area where there's a hook for the leash to go. There is a dedicated hot and cold water system, maybe a shower head or just a handheld shower. And it's a place that's in the home and it's easy to access. So we've installed pet baths in the basement. It can be in a corner of a mudroom or even in a garage. It allows you to wash that pet more often, more conveniently, conveniently makes it more often, and it helps to keep the whole house clean. So something that your pet may enjoy is warm and cold running water right there. Train them as puppies to use the bath, and it makes bath time much simpler. So one trend we want you to consider is, if you're a pet person or you're considering bringing a pet home, talk to your architect, talk to your designer, talk to your custom home builder about a custom pet bath station. Another trend that makes a lot of sense this year has been the home gym. A home gym can take a lot of different forms. It could be in a bedroom, or it could be in the basement. It could be on the main floor. A home gym doesn't have to have a lot, but if you're considering building a custom home, we suggest you make some plans and arrangements for that gym. So one thing is a dedicated space, someplace where you can set up and leave equipment to make it more convenient for you to use it. So some of the questions we would ask are, do you want special flooring? If it's in the basement, we can install simple rubber mats or vinyl tile. Do you want extra electric outlets? Are you somebody that enjoys using a treadmill, a stepper, an elliptical? All those things can require dedicated electricity, so it's nice if we organize it well. Do you want that place to have some heat? Do you want it to have some finishes? So we don't have to, if we're installing a gymnasium or gym, home gym in a basement, we don't need to sheetrock the whole thing. We could just paint walls, we can paint ceilings, we can add extra lighting. So we want the place to be dedicated, comfortable, so that it's easier for you to stay motivated and use it. It's a great idea. It can be done if you have a large master suite in that sitting area, but when you're designing your custom home, talk to your builder and do some basic planning things that make it easier to have that gym and make it more convenient for you to use. The next design trend we're seeing is dedicated space for virtual schooling, so education space. With the COVID lockdowns, we saw children trending to virtual school, which required them to sit at the kitchen table or the kitchen counter and to be on their laptop, and they had class going on and people walking behind them. At least that's what I saw. So our clients are talking about designing areas that are dedicated for schooling. Now, if you think that virtual schooling is over now that the lockdowns due to COVID are easing up, I think these spaces also double as a really good homework place. So you still may want to consider it. What we talked about with clients when we were talking about virtual schooling spaces or educational spaces in the home were some place that was dedicated, that didn't allow for all the distractions of everyday life to distract the student, whether they were doing homework or they were attending virtual school. But it was also something that was close enough so parents could observe those students, keep an eye on them, make sure they were attending class, for the younger kids that they weren't getting distracted, for the older kids that they weren't off doing things that they shouldn't be. So having that place somewhere in the home that is both private but convenient is a big thing. There's also, we want to think about lighting, something that doesn't have too much glare on the computer screen. We want to look at storage, so there's plenty of places to hang backpacks, plenty of places to store extra pens, pencils, paper, organizers, and then we want to have an electrical outlet system that is prepared for a printer, a laptop, all those things that kids have plugged in. And believe it or not, it may be nice to have an organizational area for cell phones to be plugged in and for other electronics to be plugged in, so they don't end up on your kitchen counter or in some other place that becomes a gathering place for all those cords and cables. So something else to think about when you're jumping into custom home design is dedicated education space if you have young or middle-aged kids. So one trend that is not so much a design trend, but something we're seeing much more in the design process is the inclusion of technology, at least in the statement of work from your custom home builder. So a couple of things that jump to mind. Number one is technological advances in something as boring as a garage door opener. Garage door openers now come with Wi-Fi options. They can hook into your local area network at home, so you can access those on your cell phone. You want to know when that garage door is opening and closing. If you're a parent of high school age kids, that may be convenient. When you lay down at night, it's nice to know that the garage doors are closed. All of those things come in an app that can be included with your garage door opener. So that's one. Another thing is along the same lines, but it's cameras and security systems. We've always installed security systems for clients that wanted them, but it's become much easier, less expensive, and more convenient to install cameras on the outside of our home. So when you hear something that goes bump at night, or if you're seeing more deliveries from Amazon and UPS, those cameras help you know that those packages are there. Delivery people are there. Maybe they're knocking on the front door while you're working. You can just check your cell phone and see who's at the door and whether it's something important for you to attend to. And lastly is air quality. As we build custom homes today, the air and the tightness of the home are much improved, but we do need to make some adjustments. So we want to talk to our builder. We want to talk to the builder's HVAC contractor and talk about air quality and the things that we can do. So we're talking about things like outdoor air being brought in and conditioned. We're talking about different filtration systems, whether they're just larger media filters or if we're talking about some type of electronic filters. And another option is humidification and dehumidification. All these things will improve the quality of the air in your home. We're all spending more time at home. Many of us are now working at home permanently. So air quality can be a really important design factor. So there you have it. A couple of ideas to get you thinking about the custom design process. Those trends have become popular this year, along with other trends. Here at GTG Builders, we take our clients, we sit down with the architect, and from a blank piece of paper, we help you develop your perfect custom home. Like we talked about, you can get ideas online, on TV. You can just have your own living experiences and know what's important to your family, and then we can put that into a drawing. But it's always nice to know what other people are doing this year and in previous years. So if you're interested in developing a custom home design, a custom home project, reach out to us here at GTG Builders. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to link a couple other videos that talk about the custom home planning and building process. We hope you enjoy this video.